What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are on this, the 28th day of July. We're in the final 4 days of this beautiful month of July. Very hot month of July. The hot months are coming to an end, man. We got one more month in August, and then September should be cooling things off. What I mean by hot is I literally mean the temperature, okay? As far as cooling things off goes, September might be a cool off month for crypto as well, but I do expect things to ramp on up a little bit more as the year progresses through. Here we are right now at about 119.2K, 23 hours left in this day. We had a nice little Sunday, and it wasn't exactly as I predicted, right? I was thinking that and I'm not heartbroken by the fact that this hasn't happened, but I was hoping that we would get the highest daily close yesterday, and the fact that we haven't is fine. We could be doing that today. We could be doing that tomorrow. I think starting off today on a red note is actually a good thing because it is a new week. It is Monday today, the 28th. And with that, we have our weekly close here, our weekly finish. Very nice bullish engulfing candle there. Depending on who you ask, this might not be a bullish engulfing candle. Bullish engulfing candles need to get above the wicking point there, but I don't think they need to. I think it's just like all about the body personally. But tomato, there's a million ways to skin a cat in this game. And if you want more conviction, I suppose engulfing the wick is also a big deal. But I think that was a very bullish week. Bullish engulfing candle or not, wicking down. I mean, half that candle is a wick in itself to the downside. And you came all the way back up to form the highest weekly close that Bitcoin has ever seen in its existence. So we didn't get the highest daily close, but we did get the highest weekly close. And now we're starting off this week to the downside. I think that's good, right? Get the red part out of the way, get the wick out of the way. All of these green wicks, if you notice, they have wicks to the downside. It's less common that you just have a week that moves up without a wick, but we've got that here. At least we've got some kind of wick to the downside already. It's very possible we could go lower. Looking at these liquidation levels over the past 24 hours, we have cleared out some shorts and piled on some longs. Being that it is Monday, I expect there to be some added leveraged positions coming into play. So, we could go down and clear some of those out down to about 118K or so. It's very possible, even a little bit below 118K. If we're looking at let's go over the 30-day period because I feel like we've been in this range for over a week, so I don't know if the weekly period is going to help us out too much. There's a lot, even at 116.5K to clear out. If we went down to 116.5, I mean, that would take us just below this weekly low close here. I don't really see that happening, but it could happen. Again, looking at this on a daily time frame, Bitcoin moving down that low, 116.5. I mean, that'd be pretty extreme, but that is the low end of this range that we've been in. And we're at the high end now. Every time we've been here, we have essentially gone down to about that area. So it's very possible that we could go down one last time. If we're looking at our daily RSI, we do have a nice little downtrend forming, lower highs and lower lows. If today closes red, actually, never mind. I thought we were at the 60, so never mind. If today closes red, it looks like we're still maintaining this downtrend, but I wouldn't be too intimidated by it. If we look at this trend, speaking of downtrends, we go on the 4-hour time frame here. I think we've actually broken out of a downtrend that we had here, right? You look at this channel that we've well respected. It might even be more obvious on the 1-hour time frame, actually. Let's see, yeah. Finding resistance at this area, support at the midline there, support there, a little bit of support on this quarter line here, support at the baseline. I feel like we've broken out of this range, this channel to the downside, and whether I have it drawn appropriately or not, no matter how you skin it, however you draw these lines to the top side, we definitely have broken out to the upside there, and over the weekend nonetheless. There is some bearish divergence on the 1-hour time frame, but don't get trapped by this. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but these moments where it looks like bearish divergence, they can trap you, especially if you don't understand what's going on. With this movement down, we've already had 2 hours now. We're on 5 minutes left in this hour right here. 2 hours where we've wicked below where the divergence actually formed. So the divergence has been exacted. There's no need to go lower. We absolutely still can go lower, and I wouldn't be too thrown off if we did go, let's say, back to this trend line to back test it and move up, but we already did that. We already realized our bearish divergence, got out of the overbought zone. Now, with this 5 minutes, 11 seconds left in this 1 hour, we might actually be bouncing off the overbought zone. We're in a very bullish posturing right now, you guys. Very, very bullish indeed. And I really wouldn't be surprised if today was the highest daily close that we've ever seen in Bitcoin's history, right? And that's what I said yesterday. It got close. It was the third highest daily close that we've ever seen in Bitcoin's history, but maybe today's the day. If not today, then tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then the next day. It's going to happen at some point here pretty soon. We are, I think, on the up and up and ready to go. There are far more longs than there are shorts on the table right now, but there are a lot more shorts in proximity to the current price than there are longs. Let me explain what I mean by the words I just said. A lot more longs, or there's a lot more shorts in proximity to the current price than there are longs. Okay, if we look at this to 121k, we're at 119.3k right now. You see up here 119.3k. To get to 121.3k, we would clear out about $5 billion in shorts. Okay, so that's $2,000 away. If we go 2,000 in the other direction, 117.3, it's not even $2 billion, right? So as far as what's in closer proximity, what's at more risk to getting liquidated, it's not the longs. In fact, to get to that same level of liquidations on the long side, we would have to drop back below 115k, you guys. And I think that's what this was. I don't think we're getting another opportunity. And some people can't wrap their minds around that. They think that just because there's longs, that means we have to go down. And sometimes it's that way, but not always, right? Understand what we're dealing with here, guys. We've got a very bullish market and a very high demand for Bitcoin. There are institutions and countries and venture capitalists around the world who are chomping at the bit to buy this thing for any kind of discount at all. And where we are right now, as crazy as it is, 115k, that was a massive discount. Right now, even 119k is a massive discount. You know, I was talking to some I want to say friends. They're not necessarily friends, parents. They're parents of a friend of mine the other day. And, you know, they were just asking me what I think, how far Bitcoin could go. And I'm like, dude, this thing's going to be worth millions at one point. They're telling me, they're like, yeah, but it's worth 120k now, 118. It was 118k yesterday whenever I talked to them, and they're like, yeah, but it's too expensive now, right? Like, that's expensive. I'm like, don't get me wrong, $118,000 is a lot of money, but don't think of it like that, right? You could buy half, you could buy a tenth. I told them the exact words that I'll tell you right now, which is, if every millionaire alive today, every single one of them, wanted to buy one Bitcoin, there's not enough to go around to even buy half. If every millionaire today wanted to buy one Bitcoin, they couldn't even buy half. There's not that much supply out there, which literally means, from a rarity standpoint, it's more rare to own one Bitcoin than it is to be a multimillionaire, right? So this thing in time is going to continue to grow. It's expensive now, but it's always expensive. That's the thing. When was the best time to buy Bitcoin? It was yesterday. You know what I mean? And that's always how it is. The sooner you get in, the sooner you realize that. And obviously, we invest in altcoins, we speculate in altcoins because they move up more, but the goal should be to stack some sats, stack some Bitcoin, and, you know, I think there's other long-term cryptos that are going to gain value as time goes on as well. You know, shout out to Bitcoin Cash on that note. By the way, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but man, anybody paying attention to Bitcoin Cash here, speaking of trends, we're just going to pull this up real quick. I need some water, man. I'm like twitching. I'm like all shaky because I don't normally drink soda, but I've had 2 root beers. And I'm all like twitchy right now. You guys can't see it in my arms, but like I'm just like actually like twitching a little bit here. This is taking a second. Let's go to the weekly time frame here. But talking about other long-term prospects that, you know, can effectively gain value as time goes on. If this thing would load. Oh, we're on the Binance chart. It doesn't really show. Damn. Let me do this one more time. Hold on. We're gonna get it right. Coinbase, and then I'll just turn up the performance. My computer will get loud for a second here. Do some high performance. Maybe bring it down even a little bit. But yeah, we're breaking out of this multi-cycle downtrend. Okay, not not a downtrend overall. It's a consolidation phase, but downtrend from the top trend line here. The descending trend line, if I can get it on there. There we go. We're breaking out of that right now. Look at this historical event, right, that's happening right now. Bitcoin Cash is moving up, and whether you like Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, you're a maxi for Bitcoin, you're a maxi for Bitcoin Cash, doesn't matter. Typically, when Bitcoin Cash is an OG coin, right? It's been around since 2017. It's an OG coin. It's at least been around since 2017. Technically, it's been around since the Genesis block, but we're not going to get into all that. Damn, I had the chart pulled up over here. I could have just done that. But it's breaking out now. If Bitcoin, BTC is too expensive for somebody, get them into Bitcoin Cash, man. $589. It's like a time machine. Back whenever Bitcoin was there, I actually have a theory about Bitcoin Cash that, you know, if Bitcoin's worth 120k, Bitcoin Cash worth $589. I have a theory that Bitcoin Cash can and will inevitably see these prices in time. It's like a time machine, right? If BTC can do it, BCH can do it. It's taking more time to get there. But that's, I might have lost some of you with that. I know not everybody shares that opinion, but looking at it here, daily time frame, I think this RSI is immaculate. We do have a little bit of a downtrend going on right now. And to be completely fair, it's a little bit concerning, but I wouldn't be too concerned with it. Sometimes you get these downtrends and they don't amount to much. I'm trying to find an example of that, and I'm failing, which that's not necessarily encouraging, but let's see. I don't know, like here, you had a downtrend, and then you still moved up into the overbought zone, right? And we can see what we did back here. I think that was during our, we moved up still to new relative highs way back in 2023. I'm just saying that here I think that we're in a very bullish trend. We're consolidating like we did back here, like we did back here, like we did back here, but it's on a larger scale as far as time goes. And even though we do have a downtrend in the RSI, what we really have is lower lows with higher lows in the price. That's hidden bullish divergence. It should send us to the upside here any day now, maybe today. I think this move, whenever we look back, we'll say that this next move up started officially on the 25th of July. And we'll look back and think that we just moved up in a straight line, just like here, right? But if you're looking at these days, there were moments of volatility here, even on these days, but it looks like a straight line up. I think that we're in the process of a move just like this, right? Just like from this low here to this high. I think we are literally right now in the midst of that next phase higher. Going into the end of the month, we should be at 130K and beyond. I'm thinking we'll be closer to 140K by the end of this month of July. We've only got 4 days left in the month, so we're going to get rocking and rolling here pretty damn soon. We're looking for some fireworks to fly today. If that doesn't work out, if we do come back down to about 116K, I doubt that we're going to see prices around 140K by the end of the month. We'd be lucky, in fact, at that point to see anything that's too much above like 125K by the end of the month. But inevitably, whether it's end of the month, whether it's the beginning of August, whatever, timing's not my strong suit, but we're going to get there one way or another. We're going to move up. And looking at the 1 hour time frame here, a little bearish divergence, but we've already exacted it, so I'm not worried about that. We have lower lows in the RSI with higher lows in the price. 4 hour time frame here, potentially rejecting off the overbought zone, but we still have 3 hours left in this 4 hour time frame. I'm not convinced at this point in time that we're moving down yet. It's the beginning of a new week. I think it's good to get this red side out of the way, get that wick to the downside, and then rip for the rest of the week here. I got nothing else, guys. I'm running out of things to say, so I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.